Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show. Just doing a live show today. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, I guess. Let's see if we do this. I don't know if we want this one. Like this. Why won't that show? Oh, go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the live show today. Gonna do just an hour-long live show. I gotta do some things before the game tonight. Maybe take a nap. Fall asleep during the game. Who do you guys got tonight? Big game tonight. I watched Duke choke away the game. I'm upset. I thought Duke was going to win. I thought they should have won. I don't think the refs helped any. So now we got Florida and Houston, right? With Walter, is it Walter Clayton Jr.? If I got the name right, he looked really good both both in the Elite Eight and the also in the Final Four. He comes up with clutch baskets. So anyway, got myself some tea here. Who's out there? Let me know. Let me know what questions you got. And we'll try to get this going tonight. And what did you guys think of the Final Four game yesterday? I don't know if it was much of a game, but it was a game played. Let's put it that way. Let me just see. Tonight is they're starting it earlier tonight, 8:50, because they kept pushing the game back and pushing the game back. It was like almost 9:30 last time they started. They moved it back a half hour. That's good. All right. I'm glad to hear it, because it was after 9 o'clock and it kept going later and later. And they're both 35-4, identical records, over under, and Florida's favored by 1.5. So I'm taking Florida. Let me know who you're taking. I'm taking Florida. So let's see what happens here. Let me see this. Walter Clayton Jr. The last two games, let me just see what he's done. Because he scored like 30, 34. He's on a Kemba Walker type run, according to ESPN. Yeah, Kemba Walker got hot in the tournament. So let's just see what he's got in the last two games. He played Texas Tech, and he plays Texas Tech. Let's see what they got. What I got here. Late threes propels him to the Final Four. Yeah, he can hit those threes at the clutch time, and so he scored 30 points in the Elite Eight, three threes out of 8. But he also had 13 out of 14 free throws, 30 points, 4 assists. And last game, he had more than that. He had, how many did they have? 35 or 34? Walter Clayton Jr. 5 for 8 from threes, 11 for 18, 34 points. Again, he had 2 assists. He was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. So what about in the round of 16? Let me look that up. Round of 16 against number 4 Maryland. That counts. It's a good team. Let's see what he got. I don't know if I saw that game. I saw the other two. He only had 13 points. So that was just 2 games in a row. And he was super hot. He was 2 for 6. All right. So who's out there tonight? This is Mark. Just me tonight. No comments? Nobody in the comments section? All right. I'll be talking to myself if you don't make some comments and make some questions. I don't know if I can do that very, very long. Let's see what we got here. And let's see what he did the game before that. We're talking about a run. He had 2 big runs. What did he do against UConn? Oh, yeah. I think I saw the part of the UConn game. And he had a good thing going. He had 23, and he was 5 for 8 from threes. And let's see, in the first round. So I don't know if that counts against such a weak team. Norfolk State Spartans. I thought that was Michigan State. He had 23, 4 for 9. He's hitting threes. Gosh. What does that mean? He's been hitting that many threes. I wonder what his percentage is. Oh my gosh. I'll figure it out. He's 4 for 9. Who's out there tonight? Okay, we got some people. Just got home. Avon. Yeah, I'm looking up to see Walter Clayton Jr. He's hitting threes like crazy, and I want to see what he's done in the whole tournament. So let me just see. He was 4 for 9. He was, should have written down when I was looking at him, but 5 for 8. Wow. He's on a roll, man. He got hot at the right time. He's going to make a name for himself. He's going to get drafted. What year is he at? Against Maryland, he was 2 for 6. That was the only game that he wasn't hot from threes. And then I think he was 3 for 8. And then he was something awesome in Auburn. I think it was 3 for 8 against Texas. And then I think he was 5 for 8. Let me look that up. Against Auburn. Whoops. Let's see what he was. Box score. All right. Yeah, he was 5 for 8. What's he shooting for the year? My gosh. He's a senior. So I guess he's going number 2 in the draft. I didn't look at mock drafts. Not a big mock draft guy. Talking about Walter Clayton Sr. I just looked up his 5 games. So he's 17, 23, and 16. That's 39. 39 threes he's attempted in the tournament, and he's at 9-11, and is that 8? 19 for 39. He's almost 50% for threes. Just under 50% for threes in the tournament. Yeah. Am I going live tonight? I guess I could. I guess I didn't even think about it because I was thinking about I do the women's, but I could do live for that game tonight. Gives me something to do during the commercials. I usually tape games and then fast forward to the commercials. But I could do that. I'll just go, 6 to 7. I'll just go for like an hour today. It's not many people. And then Page versus Clayton. Now, what? The play where Caitlin hits the ball out of bounds off Page in college last year speaks volumes. Where did that come from all of a sudden? I remember that play. That's been done before, but it was clever the way she did it because it took some time off the clock. And that doesn't surprise me. Caitlin Clark's very smart. I don't spell my name wrong. I spell the name my mother told me I was supposed to spell it. So the game says 8:50. I don't know if that's when it's really going to start. I guess, yeah, I'm hoping that's when it really starts, because the men's game on Friday night started late. Like it's listed at 8:49. It didn't start till like a half hour after that. So looks like Florida's favored by 1.5. Who's on the crossover? No one's on the crossover today. Robin Lundberg will be here to next Monday, and I think Rob had to work tonight. I thought he was going to be on, and he had to work. And Rob should be on next week. And Act Nation was supposed to be on, and his kids had problems with his kids. Who's MJI? MJ? Oh, MLJ. So you've been arguing with people about Caitlin? Hi, Rebecca. Who you been arguing with, Rebecca? What have you been arguing with about? About Paige getting a title and Caitlin doesn't have one? Let me pour the rest of my tea. Let me a small pot of tea here. The Caitlin delusion is real. You think? Someone said they made a comment about Caitlin in terms of, that, they were putting him down, and they made a positive comment on Caitlin. They said, she's not a team player. That was the first time I heard she's not a team player. First time I heard she's not a leader. She can't play defense. This one was, she's not a team player. A person who led the league in assists is not a team player. I'm picking Florida. Walter Clayton Jr. going to get a 3 at the buzzer. Boy stabbed another boy. And is another one? Is this the track and field one you're talking about that I saw? Which one are you arguing about? This the one that happened like 3 days ago? Or is this a new one today? Black Lives Matter supporting the guy stabbing a guy in a track event. There were what was the National Association of was associate colored people was backing up the girl who hit the girl with the baton when it was obvious it was they got hit in the head. Was this the one from 3 days ago? What was the reason for why he stabbed him? What was the beef about? And why did it happen on the track field? And what's he doing with the weapon on the track? Well, they should just fight without a knife. That'd be a lot safer, right? They shouldn't be laughing. A kid got killed, right? But yeah, I don't know the details of it. I read an article and they didn't seem to have much information. And I go, where's this facts about this case? Like, why did he stab him? And what was the fight over? And did they know each other and all that kind of stuff? He got in trouble for bringing a knife to school, and he brought it again. Let me look the case up. Well, do you guys got the victim's name? The white guy pushed him first. What is the what's the boy's name that got killed? I want to look it up. Or wasn't he? Doesn't he have a twin or something like that? Metcalf. Let me see if I can pull up a good article. We can discuss this. I can give you my criminal defense attorney viewpoint if you want. There wasn't much to talk about in the game yesterday, other than the fact that Sarah Strong got screwed over on the most valuable player for the Final Four. Like, I'm still in shock over that. Like, what were they thinking? You don't give it to someone just because they're not a freshman or because they got 2 ACL tears in their career. Like, I don't think against AZ Fudge. She seems like a nice young lady, but she didn't deserve the award. Not one person in made comments today said that AZ Fudge should have got the award. Now, who's doing the voting? All-star athlete, 4.0 student. Did Fudd get it? No. Yeah, Fudd did get it. Yeah. But Sarah Strong deserved it. I went over this today. Didn't you watch the video today, Rebecca? Let me see. I'll pull the stats up for you. And you'll say, what the F? How did they vote for her? So just so you know, their turnovers were equal. They're 1.5, so I didn't put it in the stats. So it wasn't. I'm not misleading anybody. Okay, those are their stats. And the 3 stars are the ones that AZ Fudd had better, and the other ones, Sarah Strong had better in all of them. Is that what the reason is? Is that why they voted for AZ Fudd? Because they should have been pushing Sarah Strong the whole time? I mean, Sarah Strong didn't have a regular season. She was good and consistent, but she wasn't phenomenal. But she was the last 2 games, and she just started shooting more, and she just kept hitting. Look, she was 67% in threes in the 2 games. 68% field goal percentage. 11.5 rebounds a game. It's unbelievable. How did she not win? Look at those numbers. And AZ Fudd's a good guard, but she had like 1 assist a game. She had 2 assists total for the whole 2 things. What is someone's going on here? This is corruption. I don't even know Sarah Strong. I have nothing for her. I don't think she's like super exciting and like she's like my favorite player or anything like that. I just thought this was corrupt. Is anybody disagreeing with me on this? I saw both games too. I will say AZ Fudd is a good. Did I spell her name right? She's a good on-ball defender, but so is Sarah Strong, because those kind of stats don't show up all the time. Did I spell AZ Fudd's name right? She's coming back. Azzii. Okay, it's an I. I knew that looked wrong. Oh, sorry. That did look wrong. No, AZ Fudd's not a freshman. She's going to be. Well, she's a junior, but she had injuries. No, Sarah Strong's a freshman. She's listed as a senior, but she's coming back next year because she had ACLs. She's only played 2.5 seasons, about the same as Paige did last year. She's coming back, I think, because of the NIL money and the collective bargaining agreement ends next year. So I'll stay 1 more year. No, she's a year younger than Paige. And she missed like a season and a half too. She's had 2 ACLs, and I think she had MCL, I think, in high school, Rob said. Yeah, she's listed as a senior, but she's like a junior because she missed let me see what she missed. She only played 2 games one season and only 15 games another season. So and she only played 25 games in 2021-22. That was, I think, they played fewer games a year. That was at the year of the bubble. No, the bubble was 4 years ago, 2020. So I don't know why she only played 25 games that year. But she's only played 76, looks like it's 76 games in her career. That's not that many. She's only played about the equivalency of 2 seasons in college. So, yeah, she's a year younger than Paige. Someone in the comments said they didn't like the fact that Paige came back, but I didn't have a problem with Paige coming back. She only played 2.5 seasons. And she knew that if she came out, she wouldn't be the number 1 pick because Caitlin would be drafted ahead of her. Excuse me. All right. Paige will get cooked in the WNBA. I don't think so. First of all, she's not going to get the same amount of attention that Caitlin Clark did. Anyways, those are the stats. I'll take them down. I think Sarah Strong got ripped off completely. I'm disgusted by the people doing the voting. Like, how do you do that? How do you look at those numbers? How do you watch those 2 games and vote for Ezzy Fudd? That means more than half the people had to get it wrong, even if the vote was close. So far, no one said Fudd should have won. And I thought, but somehow she won. Oh, that's unbelievable. Yeah, she seems likable. She's got a cute girl next door smile. She seems nice, but that's not a reason to vote for someone. It's so crazy that they gave it to her. So that's something else that I was going to show you that was related to that. I don't think Gino gets a vote. I don't know who votes for that. Let me go to chat. Who votes? Because I don't know. I thought it was maybe the media members who also vote for the player of the year or something. Let me see. Let me ask ChatGPT if they know who votes for the MOP Final Four for women's basketball. And how many people vote? All right. I'll pull up the answer for you if you like. Why is it all so secretive and stuff? I hate that. Okay. It says the most outstanding player award for the NCAA Basketball Final Four is by a group of credentialed media members present at the championship game. These media representatives vote to recognize the player who delivered the most exceptional performance throughout the Final Four. While the exact number of voters can vary each year, it typically includes journalists and analysts covering the event. For instance, in 2024, Cleveland Magazine was among the media outlets selected to participate in the voting process. It's important to note the NCAA does not publicly disclose a comprehensive list of voting media members or the precise count of voters involved in selecting the MOP. Did Taurasi apologize to Clark? No, she didn't. But she said reality was coming to her. I'll do a video on that tomorrow. We had 3 videos today and other ideas. So I'll get to that tomorrow. Rob had to work. So, anyways, that's who voted. I don't know. It seems like you're not going to find out anything. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you whether there was 2 people voting or 30, because a lot of media members go to that. Right. I would have given the award to my teammate if that was me. I said, I'm sorry, you deserve this. They wanted Caitlin to give the award back. Some. Shouldn't all 12 people get it? Isn't that the way it works now? According to Sheila Johnson. What kind of Rob works at a deli at Wegmans Supermarket? He works like 4 days a week, but so I did a video. I recorded a video in response to what's her name? Jamel Hill. She has Caitlin Clark 7th all time on her list. And I came up with my own lists. I can show them to you if you want. I came up with my own list. I came up with some joke lists too. Let's see. Where that? So Jamel Hill had Caitlin Clark 7th, and she had Diana Taurasi 2nd, and she only had Brianna Stewart 4th. So I didn't understand that. Diana Taurasi's not better than Brianna Stewart. Sorry. Let's take Caitlin Clark out of this. I mean, not in college. Brianna Stewart was a very good defender. It was almost as if they were in awe of Caitlin. What does that mean? Paige should have given her award to Caitlin when she won Player of the Year as a freshman. Yeah, that I have mixed feelings about freshman year and sophomore year too. She lost. She was in 2nd in the voting. She got 16, and I think Aaliyah Boston got 23 votes on the AP, and then Aaliyah Boston won all the other awards too, but they don't give out the voting breakdown. Paige got like 23 out of 30 votes, I think, and Caitlin Clark got one vote that year. So it wasn't even close, but Caitlin had a lot more turnovers, but scored a lot more and more assists. And Paige was a better defender and had good defensive stats. I could pull up the stats if you want to compare them, their freshman years. But it was close. The UConn Mafia was going to get her. She was going to win no matter what. They gave her the award before the season started. She was a hyped up number 1 recruit. It says 8:50 as the game starts. But Caitlin got screwed over by the Wooden people. She wasn't even in the semifinals 15. She was not in the 15. She was first, and she wasn't even first team All-American with AP. She was second team. She lost up to like Dana Evans and Melissa Smith. And Ryan Howard. But she was first team All-American with the U.S. Basketball Writers Association. So they got it right. And she was co-freshman of the year with Paige. So the voting was whacked her freshman year. I don't think these people watched the games. I did. I did to COVID. I did that. All right. Stop screen. Preset. Share screen. All right. Some of you already might have seen this, but I think it's kind of funny, so I had it up here. How are you an All-American when you're not even the best player on your team? Well, you could be 5 All-Americans from one school. So you're talking about Paige right now? Yeah, Bobby thinks Paige is by far the best player on the team. And Bobby's in the audience tonight. I told him he was crazy. At the end of the year, it looked like Sarah Strong was the last 2 games of the year. And she was peaking, and she's a freshman, so she's probably getting better every game. So I looked like me like Sarah Strong was the best player in the team. In terms of Paige being way better, that's from outer space, Bobby. You're on drugs. Sorry. That's not even close to being true. The last 2 games, she looked like the 3rd best player in the team. 2 most important games of the year. Yeah, Charlie, you debate it with Bobby. I'll read you his quote on the so he doesn't say I misquote him on the video today. Bobby never wants to debate things on the phone. I've offered him to be on the team on the phone. Let's see. All right. Paige Beckers is the best player on this championship team, and it's not even close. That's the quote. You guys debate it with Bobby. If he's going to make statements like that, I'm going to make him defend it because that's not even close to being true. Sorry. In fact, if I had to vote for it at the end of the year, I would have voted for Sarah Strong. She looked at the best player before the last 2 games, but even then, she was only a little bit better than Sarah Strong. So how after she plays mediocre in the 2 most important games and Sarah Strong plays great, she's the best player and it's not even close? I don't understand that reasoning. This isn't me. This is Bobby. This isn't Basil. No, it's not. Basil argues with everybody. That's not. You don't need an intervention between me and Basil. He drives Rob crazy. I can't tell you what Rob says about him. You think so? Because she gives wicked good post quarter. She does have a smile that lights up the room. I will say that about her. She has a charming smile, and she seems to have a good personality. And Sarah Strong doesn't have a lot of personality yet. She's only 18 or whatever she is. Oh, you're just putting Basil out there. Okay. I just want to make sure I wasn't misquoting anybody. But that's the quote. So I copied and pasted, so he couldn't say I took it out. I misquoted it. That's the same thing as saying she's way better when you're saying it's not even close. I notice Bobby isn't defending it. Oh, I don't even know if my mic is in. Oh, geez. I took my mic out earlier. Oh, why didn't you guys tell me my mic wasn't in? Yeah. Hey, is that better? Paige needs serious help. You know what, though? After the game, when they were asking her questions, someone made a good comment in the thread. They said it didn't sound like one of those canned, interviews. She said it sounded more natural instead of all, what do you call it, stereotypical answers that you get. Okay, well, you're not in Marcus's head because I'm not Marcus. You're not rent free in my head. I'm just, you came on this. This is, I needed a debate, so I started one. I'm paid to misquote. No, because you can't do that. people cross-examine the other person, and then they'll object and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to get misquote. That was you? Yeah, it wasn't Ken. Yeah, I agree with you. Her answer didn't sound like a stereotypical. What's the word I'm thinking of? There's a word I'm thinking of for those type of answers. Anyways. All right, Bobby. Say whatever you want. I'm not the one that made the bad take. She's boring. Paige is boring. Or Sarah Strong. Who? That's it. 8.9. That's less than 2 years ago, right? Isn't 2 years ago was 9.9 million? It just came out, Michael. I didn't know if they had the. That's all. So they lost half their viewers because there was no Caitlin Clark. It was 18 million next. And it was less than 2 years ago, too. So it's going to be the third most watched game ever. It's amazing. The Final Four lost. It was 40. Let's see, it was 14 million. It was 14.2 compared to 4 million. It's like 3.5 times more. Yeah. I guess it's better than 4 years ago, right? Well, I wonder what it was 3 years ago when Caitlin Clark didn't play. I think. Let me ask ChatGPT what how many viewers was in the last 5 games and let's see what it says. What were the average views I don't know. They're not going to beat the men's game this year because the men's game will get more than that. Last 6. In the last 6 women's basketball finals. Women's NCAA basketball finals. All right, let's see. Well, it wouldn't. It said 2021. It wouldn't give me an answer, but it was 5.6 the year before Caitlin Clark got involved. I wonder what it was in 2021. I don't know why that's not available. ChatGPT sometimes is lazy. In 2020, it says tournament canceled due to COVID-19. So I am interested to see what it was in 2021. 5.6. That sounded like the right number. 2021. Yeah, it says 2021. It was 5.6 in 2022. So let me Google that. Let me Google what the 2021 was. I just want to know if it went up to 2000 because it was 5.6 in 2022. 2021. Let me just see. Women's basketball. Women's basketball. Average rating. Okay. Well, this ChatGPT, when I put it in Google in general, said 4.1 million. So it's 4.1 million, and it went up to 5.6 the next year. So anyway, well, 8.9 million. If you look at what they got, say, say in 2022, that's before Caitlin Clark. It would be, if you take Caitlin Clark out of the formula, it would be 4.1, 5.6. And then we don't know what they would be the next 2 years without Caitlin Clark. And then it was up to 8.5. So you could say it was growing, but Caitlin Clark made women's college basketball more popular. So some of the ratings are because of Caitlin Clark, even though she didn't play. Let's be honest about that. It wasn't going to jump up to 8.9, I don't think. Let's see. So retro hairstyles, who's boring? He said she's boring a few minutes ago. They were starting about the start time yesterday. It started like 3:15. In 2021, UConn was 4.1 million. So I did. I saw the video. Did she finally hug? Oh no, I saw a pregame. I saw he was waiting for her to hug too. Did she finally hug him afterwards? No, I believe the women's game is growing in popularity, but I'm just wondering how much of the overflow is from Caitlin Clark. And will it next year, will it be more than 8.9 million is the what's going to tell you how much it's growing? Because that'll be the second year in a row without Caitlin Clark. So you can figure out then how much it's growing. We'll see. And it also depends on what's the matchup too. If it's Juju Watkins versus UConn, that'll probably get a high rating. Or maybe someone like Notre Dame, Hannah Hidalgo, or something like that. Some exciting players versus UConn or something like that. Or Hannah Hidalgo versus Juju Watkins. Those ratings will get higher than if it's another team. I don't think Madison Booker's a big enough draw. And Flydie Johnson might be very exciting next year. She's getting better every year. So Dawn only hugs women. She plays on Team Alphabet. Yeah, I saw what Dawn said about them getting too much. I understand her point to a certain degree because she's building a dynasty at South Carolina, and 2 years in a row, they just keep talking about the other player trying to get their first ring. So I understand her point. She was also saying she was also working the refs because she said on the refs hear it like the refs want to give Caitlin. The refs want to give Paige Becker a title. So, anyways, she should have taken it. I don't think you can draw a definite conclusion on the ratings until next year. That's me. So I'm sure Robin Lundberg had a nice take, but I don't think you can draw any conclusions till next year. Olivia Miles is going to TCU to take Haley's place as a point guard. I don't know. She wants to win a championship. I heard that too, but forget about Caitlin Clark. Yeah, Caitlin Clark got a fair whistle in college. I'm pretty objective. I try to be very objective. And I thought she got a fair whistle in college, except for like the first half of the first 2 rounds last year when they were kind of clutching and grabbing and holding her because they couldn't do anything to defend her. And then that's when her father told her to shut the F up in the first game. But in the WNBA, she got the worst whistle I've ever seen in women's basketball or in basketball, period. I had to turn off the announcers because what's her name? Elle Duncan keeps doing this thing where she asks questions to Andrea Carter and China Agumake, where they have to answer the question at the same time. It's like, what's the point of that? Just answer the question. They have to like yell it out like little kids. Robin Lundberg will be here next week. And Act Nation was supposed to be on the show today. And he had to cancel because of kids. I don't know. And I heard back from Rosalina Lee. She said her email on her phone wasn't connected to this. She wasn't even getting my emails. Doesn't want their detailed answers. You know what? If they're not talking about Caitlin Clark, the two of them don't do a bad job. That's not really the issue. The issue is they're not objective. Oh, yeah, that was the word I was thinking of. Scripted, like scripted. Cliches, that's the word I was like thinking of. Yeah, when people interview people and they give cliches out, I hate that. The 3 ends are the worst. Rosalina Lee is one and done. She had this problem with her ID. She had to renew her ID. She said she went to the motor vehicle department 3 times, and twice it was for 4 hours. Like, what do you do? What's happening for 4 hours with your ID? Like, I don't know. Something about ID problems that was expired or something. But she did get back to me today, but apparently didn't have time to be on the show. She's doing something with writing or something on with Robin Lundberg or something on Sports Illustrated or something. I don't know. He got her a part-time job there. I'll be happy if they just call it fair and call the foul against CC when another player commits one. They won't do that. It'll be better this year, though. What's her name? Stephanie White won't stand for that. She'll be in the refs' ears. Yeah, I didn't make her mad. I didn't do anything, as far as I know. I did not think that was a foul last night against Cooper Flagg. He didn't go over the person's back. He went over the person's arm that was stretched out. There's a bull crap call. Yeah, she was on the show. She did a nice job. She seems very nice and likable and knowledgeable. So I'm trying to get her back on. So anyway. Anyways, so up here on the screen is my joke top 10 list by UConn. A UConn fan makes up a top 10 list for greatest basketball players of all time. And it goes Breanna Stewart, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Rebecca Lobo, Tina Charles, and Paige Beckers. And then they throw in Cheryl Miller, Brittany Griner, and Cheryl Swoops for good measure, and they leave out Caitlin Clark. The next one is Tennessee fans' top 10 basketball players of all time. And they hate UConn even more than they hate Caitlin Clark. UConn just hates Caitlin Clark because she's a threat to being the greatest player of all time. So they have Candace Parker, Shamika Holdsclaw, Tamika Catchings, Cheryl Miller, Brittany Griner, Cheryl Swoops, Caitlin Clark 7th, and then 3 UConn players at the bottom. Rich hopefully be back next Wednesday. Thursday. Hopefully be back Thursday. I emailed him today to see if he could make it this Thursday. He was on last Thursday. He had family commitments, and he was good though. Someone said they liked his voice. He had a good radio voice, they said. So anyways, that was my, I don't know if you liked my top 10 list. Here is a top 10 list of the Hatelins. People who hate Caitlin Clark solely because she's white and receives more attention and money than everyone else. It's their top 10 list. And they got Cheryl Miller, Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, Shamika Holdsclaw, Cheryl Swoops, Asia Wilson, Lent Woodward, Simone Gosta, Dawn Staley. And they leave out Caitlin Clark, but they put in Angel Reese an honorable mention, even though she never won Player of the Year. And this one here is the Clarksies, the Stans, who are big Caitlin Clark fans. And they have Caitlin Clark, Cheryl Miller, Breanna Stewart, Maya Moore, Caitlin Clark, Candace Parker, Caitlin Clark, Shamika Holdsclaw, Caitlin Clark, and Nancy Lieber. And now here's the real answer. This is reality of people who know basketball who don't see color and have no connection to UConn or Tennessee. And in parentheses is the Player of the Year and how many times they were first-team All-American. Since I don't think championships are important, I didn't list them. And that's my list. And you can tell me which list is the best one. Let's see. I think I remember. I think I wrote it down. Hang on. Let me see if I have. I think I have Fox. Oh yeah. So Fox was Breanna Stewart, Caitlin Clark, Diana Taurasi, Cheryl Miller, Shamika Holdsclaw, Maya Moore, Brittany Griner, Candace Parker, Asia Wilson, Lynette Woodard, and they had some honorable mentions. And Jamel, I'm a Racist Hill was Cheryl Miller, Diana Taurasi second. I don't know where you got that from. Maya Moore, Breanna Stewart, Candace Parker, Cheryl Swoops, Caitlin Clark, Brittany Griner, Shamika Holdsclaw, and Tamika Catchings. Notice the white players didn't do very well, like Breanna Stewart and Caitlin Clark. They were 4th and 7th. They're really white players. Quince? Oh, I just dropped something. Coincidence? I think not. That was me. Anyway, oops. I invited, I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know. Did I look him up? Chocolati. I invited Game Day Podcast or something like that. I emailed him and he didn't respond. Ben Daniel, I invited Chicks Dig Scars Podcast. I invited them. I invited W360. I mean, I don't know if they get these things because I don't know if the emails or business emails they check. And I don't know if they check their X messages, but it's hard to get a hold of some of these people. I invited Fly Hippie. No response, surprisingly. I'm surprised he didn't at least respond. He's a good guy. CO Kanye guy. Okay, I invited him, Duke. And so this guy here, I think I looked him up. Chocolate. Let me look him up again. Yeah, I don't even know if these people got my emails, and not all of them are on X and or on Instagram. It's hard to leave. I tried to leave messages for everybody that I tried to invite. I invited Simply Ball Dropping, and he chickened out. Instead, he invited me on his show, which I saw what happened to Rudy. It was 6-on-1. And then Rudy said, well, the ratings going into the game between LSU and Iowa, Caitlin Clark was more popular and the ratings was twice. And the woman goes, well, I don't believe you. that was her answer. And Simply Ball Dropping is a liar. Okay, I don't know who Retro is. All right, let me get. Okay, anyways, let me go to YouTube. Let me see who Retro. Hey, some of these guys I've looked up. Retro podcast. Is that the name of his podcast? You can reach out to any of these people, and they can find my email, and then you can invite them. I just haven't. I've spent so much time trying to get a hold of people that I don't even know if they get my things. Retro podcast. I don't know. Right. It's not the right one. You have to tell me more who the Retro podcast is. I can't find that particular one. I might need more information. Mike Tillery. Simply Ball Dropping. Yeah, because the problem is with Simply Ball Dropping, I wouldn't be able to pull up like something on the screen to show the facts when they start saying things, because he lies all the time and they have misleading statistics and stuff like that. So what good wouldn't be any good in debate unless they give me all the questions in advance, all the topics in advance. I give him the information and he pulls them up on the screen for me when we bring up the topic. If I could bring up the statistics and facts, I would do it that way, but I doubt he'll ever do it that way because that would be too much. Yeah, and he's he's just dishonest about Caitlin Clark, and he's dishonest about Angel Reese too. He said she was the most successful person in the WNBA. He said Juju Watkins as a freshman was better than Caitlin Clark as a senior. And he twisted around. He lied about what Maya Moore said about leadership. And then he had statistics wrong about Caitlin Clark when he was comparing him with Juju and stuff like that. So, and then he called Christy Sides a good coach. That was funny. And yet he criticized her on other videos about simple things. $10.4 million that watched South Carolina did not see them lose in the finals. Yeah, she was 3-0 in the finals. Now she's 3-1. I don't know what Gino's record is. He's been in 24 Final Fours, and he's won 12 finals. I don't know what his record is in the finals. Let me look at it. Let me see what chat says. What is his record in the finals? Gino. I can never remember how to spell his name. Aurie. I can never remember how to spell his name. Record. It's got to be 12 and something. Now, why didn't tell me how many did he lose in the finals? I don't think he lost that many times. Might have lost once, but not. We'll just see. One loss. South Carolina in 2022. That was his only loss in the finals. Wow. So he was in there 13 times. That means his record in the Final Fours is only 13 and 11, but he's 12 and 1 in the finals. Right, because he's been in there 24 times, right? So he's played 13. Yeah, that's right. He's 13 and 11 in the Final Four, but 12 and 1 in the finals. So he's lost a lot of semifinal games. Mark Chocolati is live now. Tillery's still hiding. He's a big writer. I have a guy who says he follows women's basketball. He's an attorney. He's like in his 50s, and he says Caitlin Clark will never be a top 10 player in the league. Yeah. Yeah, simply ball dropping. I would go on a show if he went on mine first, because I asked him first, but he chickened out. I do want to get him on, because I'll go watch all his videos and go get all the lies and then approach him on the lies and see how he handles it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Gino is a better coach than Pat Summitt. I mean, he obviously has 12 championships to 8, but he could have been just been a recruiter, and because he did have better players for a while. He just repeats the wrong points. I couldn't take it. I can't take it. His whole like 95% of the comments are just sheep comments, where they just anti Caitlin Clark, Yeah. But the question is, did he have more talent or not? Because he seemed to have more talent for a while. He tried to deflect anything you throw at him. So, I mean, it's hard to say because you're not playing with the same amount of talent. You don't know who's a better coach. I mean, I don't know if Phil Jackson was the best coach of all time. He played with a lot of talent. So did Red Auerbach. But he's up there. And so did, any coach that had a lot of championships. Yeah, I think Gino was a better recruiter. And I don't know if that made enough of a difference for the 4 championships or whatever, but they're both great coaches. Dawn Staley is a great recruiter too. And she's got 3 championships. And Kim Mulkey has 4? Isn't that right? 3 in one school and 1 at LSU. So she's got to be a great coach. I'm sure she's a great recruiter. And then Tara, whatever her name is, from Stanford, has 3. Those are your 5 greatest coaches of all time in terms of success. Yeah. So they have 12-8, 4, 3, and 3. I think it is, right? You can't just count championships to say which one's better. They didn't play with the same amount of talent. And Dawn Staley's career is not over with, and neither is Kim Mulkey's. But I don't think Dawn Staley's going away. She seems to be a good recruiter and I don't know, she seems to be a great coach. I don't really like their style all the time, but successful. Didn't they have a player? Yeah, Tara I can't never pronounce her last name. She's got 3 championships at Stanford and like 1,000 victories. Yeah, the NCAA tournament, I think it started in 81, around there. So what is that, 45? And they have what do they have? They have 20 to 45? Yeah. They had NIL, and they had a different thing before the NCAA started. And that's what Nancy Lieberman won 2 of those. It wasn't an NCAA championship. It was the same thing that was considered the national title. No, I think Tennessee only has 8. I think Tennessee only has 8 championships. So I think that's 20 out of like 45. No, that's what it was. What Duke just said. AI, whatewer it is. You can look up whatever Nancy Lieberman won. That was what it was called for a couple of years. AIW, yeah. Yeah, so, not knowing who plays with the same talent is not knowing, who the best coach is. It's hard to say. When Brandon Stewart, I looked up their games. They didn't have a game closer than 10 points, and they averaged 23 points in terms of just the Final Four in the finals. In those 8 games, their average margin of victory was 23 points. So they didn't have any close games. All the other ones, they won by like 40 or 50 points. They won one by like 63 or something like that. You're one off by darn, yeah. Big difference, 20 and 21. Let me see what coaches in America. Championships. College and pros. Men and women. Let me see. What coaches in America have won the most championships, college and pros, men and women? I know there's a coach in hockey. I forgot his name. So John Wooden has 10. Gino Auriemma has 12. Pat Summitt has 8. Phil Jackson has 11. Red Auerbach 9. Popovich 5. Cheryl Reese 4, the most in WNBA. And Van Chancellor 4 titles. So it looks like I thought there was a coach in hockey that had a lot. Maybe it was less than 8. Vince Lombardi had 5. I mean, so what did he had 6 for no one in hockey? I think there's a guy with hockey that has a lot. Let's see what we got. I know there's a guy in hockey that has a lot. I forget his name. I'm not a big hockey fan. Yeah, they didn't mention Scotty Bauman has 9. Yeah, I knew there was a guy in there. All right, so those are your big winners. Nick Saban had 7, right? Yeah, 6 at Alabama, right? I knew there. I couldn't remember Scotty Bauman's name because I'm not a hockey fan. I wonder. Wait, I wonder about baseball. They didn't mention baseball in that. ChatGPT needs some is a hit and miss sometimes. You gotta. What about baseball? Oh, so Casey Stengel and Joe McCarthy had 7. Connie Mack had 5. I think it was Scotty Bauman. I don't know, but he has the most with 9. I didn't say it was comparable. I don't think you can compare them. I'm just saying. Bobby Knight says John Wooden cheated. Well, John Wooden seems like an admirable guy. Bobby Knight does not. So who am I going to believe? The team that isn't wearing pink sneakers tonight. They're not going to wear. They're not going to get free Asia Wilson sneakers. How many thought that call on Cooper Flag was bogus? I argued with Rob this morning about it. And then I finally pointed out to Rob, Rob, there's not even an over the back rule in basketball. And I said he didn't go over his back, he went over his arm. And the arm was like way stretched out, like Cooper Flag's not allowed to go around the guy for 12-foot radius. That's not fair. Most people didn't like Bobby Knight. Why would you say go figure? Very few people I know like Bobby Knight. In fact, nobody I know likes Bobby Knight. You're glad Houston won? I'm not. I like Cooper Flag. I think he's a class act. You love Bobby Knight? That's fine. I don't. Good coach. He liked let me look this guy up. Chalk CH. I looked him up before. I wasn't that impressed with him. CHAC CHAC ALE. Come on. CHAC. Oh gosh, now I forget it. CHAC. CHA. Kella T. Oh yeah, it's not my style. I remember who he is. Southern Poverty Law Center. All right, well, the fact that you like Bobby Knight says something about you. That's all. I'll take Mike Krzyzewski as a coach over him any day. And as a person, $15 national titles at Texas men's swimming. Really? Wow. Yeah, I asked him for college and pros and men's and women's, but it didn't give me a good answer. ChatGPT sometimes screws up. I had to drag the Scotty Bauman answer out of him and baseball and basketball. He might have, but I thought he was a better coach. And he was giving advice to the current coach, they said, but somehow they lost out on how to do inbound plays. Well, that's your opinion. I thought he was a better coach and a better recruiter, maybe. But you're a swimmer. Yeah, you were a swimmer. I have 3 nephews and nieces who are star swimmers. One was 3-time state champion in high school and got a scholarship to University of Virginia. They eventually won national championships, but after she had left. Another one's just 15 years old and winning races left and right. And my other one is like, I don't know, out of college, high school and college. So 3 swimmers in our family. I don't know if I could be a swimmer. That's a lot of the same type of practice. That's just swim 5,000 miles a day or whatever, 5,000 miles a day. So that's a lot of swimming. So anyway. John Wooden was a great coach, but he was also a great recruiter. Those UCLA teams were pretty stacked. And so who knows? You know, Phil Jackson didn't get 11 titles with no talent. Scotty Bauman, I'm sure, had talent on his hockey championships, and everybody else did too. So it's really hard to say. I think Larry Brown did a lot with what talent that he had, and he improved teams quickly. So I thought he was an excellent coach, and he won at the NBA level and he won at the college level. Even he couldn't get Allen Iverson to play team ball. He tried. He tried to get Allen Iverson to play team ball. He just couldn't get him in. Couldn't rein him in. Nobody could rein Allen Iverson in to play team ball. That was a waste of talent because he could have been a top 10 player of all time. In terms of pure athletic ability, Allen Iverson. Maybe top 20, whatever. AI and Stackhouse should have been a great backcourt. Yep. I don't think Stackhouse was great at making his teammates better, or I don't think he was a great teammate either, a great team player either. Do they still swim for workouts? I don't know. My niece had a daughter a year and a half ago. I don't know if she does or not anymore. And the other one I don't really know that well because my brother's got 8 kids. And so those 2, I don't know if they still swim. But I know my nephew is growing fast because there's a lot of height on his mother's side of the family. And my brother's 5'11". And his wife's 5'8", but his nephews, her brothers, his uncles are like 6'3" and 6'4", and her dad was 6 foot. And he grew like 7 inches in 2 years when he was like 12 and 13. And he's up to like 6 foot already. And he's like 15 years old or something. So we'll see what he ends up. We all know it didn't help. It didn't hurt Michael Phelps with his big wingspan and his height. It didn't hurt him. So my niece was only 5'4", so she was in the breaststroke and freestyle, and she stopped growing, and I think she was disappointed she didn't get taller. Women's soccer team have 23 national championships. So how many was the coach had? No, he's not in college. He's in high school. He hasn't won anything big yet. I think he's going to be I don't know, I think he's 15, but he started a year late. How did my nephews get so tall? My brother's 5'11", and his wife's 5'8", and his wife's family is real tall. But I don't know how tall he's going to end up, but he's already about almost 6 foot, I think. And he's like 15 years old. So he looks like he's going to be, I was at a bar 2 weeks ago, and in walks in like 6 guys that are like 6'4", 6'5", all white guys. And this woman says to me, a bunch of really tall guys just walked in. And I looked over, I go, whoa. I said, what's that? Was it a basketball team, a volleyball team, a family? Turned out it was a family. Everybody in the family is tall. Because I asked one of the guys, I go, you got to be tall to be in your group? He goes, no, it's just family. It's a family reunion. They were there at the bar checking out the band that I go to. Hockey players in my family? My brother played hockey. I grew up in Rochester, New York. So yeah, friends of mine were hockey players. I wrestled, so I gave up playing hockey. I was good at it when I was like up until I was 13, but then I wrestled and I was better at wrestling than hockey, I thought. So, and wrestling has weight classes. I wasn't big. No, it turns out they weren't. They were just a bunch of families. It was real weird to see. It's like guys were 6'4", 6'5". 6'2", but there was 3 guys that were 6'4", another guy was 6'5", another guy was 6'2". So, yeah, we'll see how my nephew does. I think he started swimming because my niece was a swimming star. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I hope he keeps swimming too. I have to ask my brother. I think his season's. Yeah, last I knew he was winning races. He doesn't win all his races. He's not at the state level yet, but I'll have to ask my brother. I haven't asked him recently. What kind of band do I go listen to? Okay, so my favorite type of music is classic rock, and I like rhythm and blues and funky jazz. But this band is a bluegrass band. A friend of mine is a lawyer, and he has had this band together for like 25 years. They have 7 albums out, but they're rock-oriented bluegrass band. I don't like country music, so it tells you their bluegrass isn't that much country to their music. And they play live. Yeah, they're bluegrass, and they play live every Friday during certain months of the year, like 20 weeks a year for happy hour. So it's great. It's early in the evening, 6 to 8:30. 2 sets for free. Last time there was 100 people there. But he's great. He's a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He's a rhythm guitarist, and he also plays the harmonica. And he writes music, and it has albums for 2 different types of bands. He also has a rock band that he has like 5 albums out. Guys, he's written so many songs. It's unbelievable. It's like 12. I guess that's 12 albums he's written, original music. Called Classic 80s. No, they have no banjo. They have what do you call? Let's see, What's he plays? Oh, the mandolin and something else. One guy plays two, a mandolin and something else. I forgot the other. Yeah, he plays a mandolin and he plays another guitar that's like a mandolin. I forget what it is. Oh, what's it called? Oh, it's called like not ukulele. It's like a bazooka is one of those words. I have to look it up. The name of the band is John Train. You can find their music on the internet. You want to hear a song by them? But I like him because he writes good songs and he's danceable. He's dance music. So I'm going to go off the air at 7:30 and come back at 8:50 for the game. So I haven't made dinner yet. I got some salmon. Oh, you played a mandolin? Oh, your father-in-law did? Yeah. The other one is called, I'll have to look it up. It's like, it's not ukulele. It's like, I don't know. It's one of those ones. Let me just see if I look up the band, I could probably find the instrument I'm talking about. Might have to go to look up their stuff, man. Let me go to Amazon. I look it up. You guys want to hear a song? Who's back for the game? I could play a little of that. And I look up what the instrument is. Let's see, preset. Share screen. Okay, let's see what we got here. John Train. It looks like it's live too. Play a little John Train for you.
One day love will find you. One day you'll have a home. Sometimes it's put behind you. World waits, man, you're not alone. To we've been good, boys gone to the holy land. Let's stay home like it's older. Listens to the cattle slam. We one up in the mountain, listening for the ancient sound.
Is that a mandolin or is that the other guitar I'm talking about? Copyright strike, I know. It's a live one, so I'm probably safe. It's one of my favorite songs by them. Yeah, is that a mandolin?
Try not to blow up you. One day love will find you. One day you'll have a home. Tough times you put behind you. World waits, standing out alone.
John Train.
several weeks now. Knock, soldier at my door. Put a sticker on the neighbor's finger. Says, what the hell are we fighting for? I told you that I need. I told you it would be a drag.
I look up the instruments. I look up on Amazon. I like actually, I have their. Hang on a second. I have their DVDs. I can put them in the back of the DVD. Okay. You guys like that? Anyways. Oh, another good song. So it's called the Bazooki, Bazouki, and the one it's called a dobro. Dobro. That's the instrument. And there was a steel guitar too. I'll spell it for you. Yeah, that's the other what he plays with. You didn't see that in that particular in a dobro, D-O. That's the one that was going flat this way. No, I didn't see all the comments because I went to go look for the album. This is a different band.
You get tired of running away. Yeah. Last night, saw a man fall off a wire. On a
This is a local band from
straight
Rochester.
down to the sidewalk.
So
People
and they
looking up and crying.
strike that. So that song there is about one of the famous guys who went across the wire. I'm trying to remember his name now. His name was Poppy. He was like 71 years old. He went across a wire, I think in Mexico, and the wind picked up and he died. And it was on TV. You can find it on the internet, but you can't see him hit the ground. You can just see him fall off the wire. And he's saying his name was Poppy. His nickname was Poppy. And they're going, he had the bar like this. And maybe if he just let go of the bar earlier and tried to just grab the wire, he would have been okay, but he didn't. And that was it. So that was a song called Poppy. Anyway, Yeah. Who pees on the furniture? What are you guys talking about? Bobby Knight on the mandolin. Yeah. So they've been together for like 25 years. And then like 3 of them play in another band with they play rock too. And they're called the Donuts. So anyways. Poppy from Seinfeld. Oh no. No, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's like, let me just what his name was. Oh. I think it was in an email I wrote it. It won't be on here. Okay. Anyway. All right, so Rich Latter will be here Thursday. I just got an email from him, and Robin Lundberg will be here Monday. And Act Nation is going to be here whenever he can make it, which is usually once or twice a week. So, anyways, Charlie, you like the music, Charlie? Anyways, I'll have to remember the name of this. Anyways, so a little music today. Basil Sensing Sarcasm. And maybe I'll play another song from them, but the live one probably won't have any copyright problems. That one, I just started playing Poppy. I might have to take that out of that live thing. That was a recorded song. You can find another. I could find. Let me just say something. Escape. Oh. Let me just see if I can remember this. All right, how do you spell hallelujah? Hallelujah. You post them on my channel. All right. CC winning 12 championships in a row. I don't know. You got to have a lot of health for that. What was it? Celtics won 8 straight, right? In 11 and 13 years. So that's the gold standard. 8 straight. There's about the same number of teams. They had 8 when they started winning, and I think there were 10 when they finished. About that. I have to look it up. How many there was in 1969. So they won 8 straight in 11 and 13 years. Who knows how to spell hallelujah? Because I got to look up this song. I can't remember how to. Anyone good at spelling? Hallelujah. Well, the song, like the song Hallelujah. H-E-L. I can't remember. E-A-U. Ah, here it is. All right. I got it. Post them on your channel. I'm trying to find another song for you that another guy in the band wrote. But oh, well, I'll have to look for it later. Anyways, I gotta eat some dinner and then I'll come back on in an hour, I guess. Stephanie ain't no Art Red Auerbach. The Browns. The Browns didn't win 8 straight. CC, yeah, she said in the interview yesterday she played for 10 years and then see how she feels. She's not retiring at 30, 32. There's no way. Unless she wants to be a golfer or something like that and just try something new because your body get beat up in that league. I'm hoping they clean up the league and it won't be so physical. The Browns won 4 straight in the American Conference, and then they won 3 championships in 6 years in the NFL. So Otto Graham won 7 championships in 10 years as a quarterback. Green Bay won 5 in 7 years. Just security for the Cleveland Browns. Anyways, got to cook my salmon. Cook some salmon and green beans almondine over rice. So I'll come back in an hour, and I guess I'll do the game. It says 8:50. Looks like it's starting a half hour earlier than it has been recently. I'm hoping that's the start time and not a bunch of pregame stuff. Yeah, it was getting too late. Every time I turned it on, every year I turned it on, it kept getting later and later. Player coach. CC is a player coach. I don't know if you'd want that. It's a lot to concentrate on. All right. I'll see you guys back in an hour.